Welcome back to Powered by Play. Avery, I think it's time to record our final message.
What, Drew? This isn't the death and dying episode.
No, it's not. I know. Yeah, that was a while ago. Um
Yeah,
I think I think that we've come to a place where I feel like I've said all that I want to say and we've covered a lot of topics.
yeah. We've covered everything from playing with money and wealth to playing with misbehaving and heritage, fitness, art, music, cars. I think we've covered so much ground that there's not really much else that we can say about the world of play for now.
Yeah. I think we're good and it's probably time to throw this to our listeners and let them take all of this stuff that we've talked about and put it into their lives and just kind of maybe go on with our own lives and all of the stuff that we've got going and all of the play that we have to do.
Absolutely. So, what's something that you want our listeners to walk away with from our series?
I think the most important thing for me is appreciating what play can truly do for all of us. And that's the title of the podcast, Powered by Play. And the idea that it can inspire us, it can lift us up, it can allow us to do things that maybe we weren't sure if we were capable of. And it can take us to amazing places. It can also be powerful in kind of a maybe a scary way too. And so awareness of that, but also just embracing that, I think is what I would want our listeners to come away with. What about you?
Everybody should walk away with absolutely an appreciation for the world of play and the power that it really has. I think play is a playground and a sandbox for agency and curiosity and creativity, as well as leisure and creation and destruction, and it can transform us if we allow it to. If we welcome play into our daily lives, we get to have a little bit of a lighter lift in our step and a little bit more energy to deal with the things that are not as playful, and even maybe change the status quo and fight for more serious things. It's all about the balance that play can provide in our lives that I want people to remember.
Yeah, I love that. And um anything that you are playing currently or that you're looking forward to playing in the future?
I currently am playing Hades 2. It's the sequel to the first Hades game. We did talk about this
Nice.
game on our episode about playing with death and dying, and it it has this cyclical nature of fighting your way out of the underworld but dying along the way, and then every time you die you become stronger. But what does this say about, our repetitive nature about trying to reach our goals, and how life can start once we're also dying? I just reminding me also of a poetry book that I'm adapting into an immersive concept for my thesis right now. There's this notion of death moments where the author the book is called Navigating Without Instruments by Tracy Kato Kiriyama, and they talk about near death experiences as death moments. And this is to say that every near death experience, whether tiny, 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 or massive, is an opportunity for you to reawaken into your life and reappreciate everything that it is around you. That was a cool tangent.
Hey. Oh, I gotta check out that book. Is that book of
Yeah.
poetry widely available, or is it more of like
Yeah, it
a
is widely available. Yes,
nice?
highly recommend.
Love it. Love it. I am gonna play this game that I bought recently called En route, which is a game where it's called a flip and write because you flip cards to see sort of what the situation is, and then you write um with dry erase pens on a sheet where you are creating a city tour for tourists that show up, and there are like 7 cities including New York and Cairo and London and Rio and in Hong Kong, and you're trying to give the tourists what they want. You're trying to bring them past the sort of sites that they want to see. And the more tourists you can bring to the places that they want to see, and you've got a bunch of people showing up and you don't know who you're going to get and what they're interested in, the better you're going to do in the game. And it's
Mm,
it's totally fun. I am enjoying it. I just need to play it a little more. So that's what I'm excited about.
mm.
And we just did here at Chapman University The Little Prince. We did a an adaptation of The Little Prince on stage, and shout out to the Chapman students who were in that, and to the faculty member, Nick Gabriel, for directing that, because it brought me back to when I read that book as a kid, and I was thinking, oh, if I visited different planets, who would be on these different planets, and what would it be like to be on a planet that was just like as big as a house, and that kind of thing. So it felt playful to kind of re-engage those deeply buried childhood memories of that really quirky little French book. So that was fun and playful to remember that as well.
Wow. Speaking of shows, I did recently see my favorite comedian, Josh Johnson, at my university. He was performing he just performed a stand up special for a festival of live performances that weekend. And the line for getting into that show was it actually went out the door of the entire building because there
Oh
were
my
so many
gosh.
people that came to see Josh Johnson, and he did not disappoint. Just a lovely comedian, and it was also the week right after Jimmy Kimmel had gotten taken off the air for
Yeah.
making fun of the presidency. And it just reminded me of how valuable comedy is, especially in terms of free speech and wanting to express injustices that are going on. Josh Johnson talked a lot about how valuable it is to care and ask ourselves, like, is this really happening right now? And so that's just what I love about his kind of comedy is that it brings us back to the present moment at the end of the day.
He's great. I love all his stuff. He's actually coming to Anaheim fairly soon. Yeah. I gotta check and see if tickets are available. But yeah, he is one of the most amazing comics to kind of really emerge in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Started on the Daily Show, really kind of generating traction, I believe.
Mhm.
But oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. And he's so insightful, and he's so just kind of the kind of comedy that I really sort of relate to, which is thoughtful, kind of in the vein of like a George Carlin, going all the way
Mhm.
back to the classics of the 70s, like actually thinking about society, and connecting his own experiences to something bigger.
Yeah. And in the realm of theater, I'm currently in my last year of my master's program in scenic design. And this semester, we're focusing a lot on immersive productions and how to design for
Yeah.
them. I am about to start a class project on designing an immersive experience around the seven deadly sins
Oh, love
and
it.
basically transforming seven different shipping containers into a collective experience on the sins and how we can get audience members to really feel immersed in this world or have agency or really experience something theatrical in a new way. So that's something that I'm learning a lot about this year.
Love that. Love that. It's not crime related, is it? Like the movie Seven? It's more thoughtful or
I think it's more metaphorical. It could be crime. I think it's up to me. I could make it crime
ooh.
related now, but yeah, no, it's mostly related to the metaphors and how we interpret the metaphors ourselves.
I love that. When I was an undergrad at UC San Diego, there was this art installation that had it was neon lights. It's still there, I'm sure. And the neon lights had the deadly sins and the virtues. And so it was like the sin would be up in a neon light and then the neon would shift to the virtue. I'm not sure if it's a virtue. I can't remember what the counterpoint to a deadly sin is, but
Mm.
it was really interesting because it was like the same space on a building would light up both the bad thing and the good thing. And it was really weird sometimes to kind of head back to my dorm and have sloth up in this huge like neon light on the top of a building and just go what. But it was pretty cool public art. You know what, Avery, I'll see if I can find a thing about that particular art thing and send it to you and see if there's a statement by the artist or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear about those shipping containers once they're done.
Oh, absolutely. I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah. And before we go, I think that if our listeners want to get in touch with us, we do have an email for the podcast, which is poweredbyplaypod@gmail.com. You can also find us through social media.
I am available on Instagram at Avery Tang Design, and I post a lot of my scenic design work, what I'm doing in grad school, personal art, all that stuff.
Love it. And you can find me just with a Google search for Drew Chapel. And I'm not on Instagram. I am on Facebook, but very few people are using Facebook these days, I guess. But if you look for me, you will find me. Avery, it has been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for joining me on this journey.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every minute of it, and to be honest, just completely, selfishly, it's been great keeping in touch with you as you have crossed the country. So I hope that you will some point come back to California and we can do some cool stuff, maybe work on projects together. But I wish you the best of luck in finishing up your program and can't wait to see how this ultimately works out in your professional
Thank
life.
you so much, Drew. I look forward to traveling the world as you've inspired me to do and keep my eye out for play in all areas of my life. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things that I've learned from you throughout this experience. And also learning how to do a podcast, amazing stuff. Very fun.
Yeah, heck yeah.
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 So, thank you to all our listeners, and we will catch you next time if there is ever a next time.
Thanks, everybody.